might have waited too long to transfer from the silicone mold to the bowl. Hello. I don't have any music playing today because I'm going to try to save my TikTok live later and see if it's able to post to YouTube as a test. I can't post it if it has music in the background because it's copyrighted, so we're going to see what happens. I don't know if it works, but so we're almost done stirring this, and then I'm going to continue on my teacher coasters back here. And then I got an order for another teacher coaster, and they asked if I could do a cow print. So I told her I would attempt it. I don't know how it's going to go, but I said I was willing to try it. So I'm thinking pour white, let it cure overnight, and maybe come down and do some UV resin in black tomorrow for some spots. I think that would work best, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. How is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. It's a nice day. It's a good weekend. All right. Got a lot of people joining us tonight. Awesome. So I said last week I thought I was going to have Melina, how are you? Last week I had mentioned how I thought it was going to be the last of my teacher coasters, but then I got more orders. I was kind of surprised. I can't imagine I'll get too many more because I'm not going to be able to complete them and have them shipped to get to them in time, so. Hey, Bridget, I am working on some more teacher coasters tonight. I'm working on the next step. So I put all of my little pieces in here. I like to organize them, and that way it's a little easier for me when I actually pour into them. Yes, I'm going to go live for at least just a little while. I told my husband I would go hang out with him tonight after I was done, so I have to do possibly, Alexa, stop, possibly one more of these. We'll see how it goes. So we'll see. It may not be too terribly long of a live, but at least 30 to 40 minutes. It gives some insight into how I do some things. All right, that looks pretty good, so I'll give that a second to debubble a little. All right. And again, I said earlier, I usually have music going, but I'm going to try to see if I can save my live to post on YouTube. I'm kind of testing it out. So I want to start posting some full-length tutorials. And since I go live so often, I didn't want to not go live just to post on YouTube. And you can't post your video on YouTube with copyright music, so, which is silly because you can get pretty much every song on there anyways, but that's okay. Okay, so I got blue. I'm just taking everything out now that I know where I want it. These ones are staying in. I'm still waiting on the pieces for that. It was supposed to be in today, and now it says tomorrow, so hopefully those come in, because if not, that'll stink. Okay, put these over here. All right. Ah, yes, kids. So I'm happy my husband is usually home at night because then I can be like, if they're not falling asleep, you gotta kind of go deal with that since he stays upstairs anyways to do his stuff. So it works out. But yeah, no, sometimes my kids have different plans and they don't want my husband, and it's all me. All right, so this is just isopropyl alcohol. I spritz it, and I get this little piece out. I spritz it before and after. It helps to pop and prevent bubbles. I don't use heat. This is just what works for me. I'm just scraping off my silicone stick so I don't drip it everywhere. Well, I'm pouring my very small layer. When I do this part, it's just a very tiny amount that I put in here just to layer it. I don't want all of my stuff moving around, so I will let this sit for several minutes, maybe longer, and then I'll put everything in. As the resin sits there, it constantly is just moving and pulling to the center, and I don't want all of my items to pull to the center. So I will let this sit. I'm just going to move it and make sure it's completely covering my circles. Perfect. All right, now let's go to the next one. This one, we have 3 that we did yesterday. It's on a different step. We're going to fill above all of the items in here. For now, I'm just going to move these like so. I just have to remember which one goes where. This is green, and this is purple. That should be easy, but we'll see if I remember it when the time comes. All right. So again, alcohol spritz, and then right in with our resin to give it a tiny coat on the bottom. I'm intrigued to see what I sound like in the playback on the video, since everybody always wonders why I breathe so terribly, and it's just my respirator. Oh, there's a little something in this one. It's funny, yesterday I found out a lot of people wonder it, but nobody ever questions it, probably being nice because they think I'm just got health issues or something. I don't know. It's pretty funny though. You have to use 91% or higher. All right, so I just give it another little spritz because I want to pop any surface bubbles. Here, I'm going to spritz this. I need a new spray bottle. This one sprays a little too much, so I let it sit for a second. So I kind of give them all a little spritz, and by the time I get to those, they're going to have less alcohol in them anyways, because it just, evaporates. So, all right, here we go. So this one, I'm just pouring slowly to create less bubbles. When I get to an opening of the eraser or the clip, I kind of pour slowly kind of right into it, and that helps to prevent bubbles. Not completely, they still happen, but it does help, I've found. Sometimes it completely prevents it, sometimes it doesn't. So I only put in just enough to cover the main pieces, which is everything except for the eraser. It's isopropyl alcohol, yes, 91% or higher. And it just helps to pop and prevent bubbles. I don't use heat unless it's for a specific project. This just works best for me. Not everybody's that way, and that's okay. Everybody does their own thing. All right, this is almost good. I should have just enough left to do the teal. Oops, you're not really aimed at that. There we go. All right, let's see. It's still a little wet, so that means the alcohol is still in there. That's good. I always pour my teacher coasters first when I get down here because it's constantly going to throw off bubbles because of the wooden pencils. And I can already see what appears to be a bubble in this clip that might come out. And then sometimes the crayons throw off bubbles too. It just kind of depends on where the paper lies on it. All right, so we have a little left. That's okay. They do get bubbles. Thank you for the heart, me, and the rose. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I've had people ask me about that, and I honestly don't know. The only time I've ever had an issue with melting crayons is at my craft fair this weekend, with it in the direct sunlight, and then it explodes. So, I mean, I would ask, are you using heat when you pour? And are you pouring, you tell, I didn't pour all that much resin in here above my crayon. It's just enough to just coat it, and it's already slightly in there. Yeah, explode, I just, I kind of cleared this off, but it came right through the resin, and it changed the color of it. So it was an orange crayon, now it's a peachish crayon, and exploded right out the end. So I'm going to put some UV resin on this and see if I can salvage it. This wasn't for an order. I just made this for the principal of my son's school, because she's the main person we talk to. So, all right, let's see. All right, got a little bubble over here. Just give that a little spritz. And again, I keep an eye on this. I will go through here. I won't spritz it too much with alcohol to start. I don't want any alcohol streaks, but we will continuously just randomly spritz it. All right, I got a couple drops. I'm just going to clean these up real quick. And I do not put my stuff in right away, like I said. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Push this right over here. And we have a little left, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can start. I want to pour 2 white ones just in case. I use 91% because that's what I have available to me at my store. I did just find a good deal on alcohol on Amazon, so I may buy it from there next, but it's still the 91%, but it works just fine for me, so I'm not too worried about finding 99%. All right, let's see, get this. All right, these ones I'm going to record on my phone because if it works out, that would be super cool. Let's see, I'm going to center. Okay, there we go. Okay. The font I use, I think it's BFC Fashion Statement. I bought it from Cricut. So I'm pretty sure it's BFC Fashion Statement. Yes, I use Let's Resin. Thank you for helping me out. I'm kind of missing some stuff. All right, so I'm going to do a couple different whites in here because I don't know exactly. I want paste, but I'm only going to do a very, very small amount of paste. So I'm literally just going to do a tiny little drop, I think. Literally just the smallest drop. Oh, almost did too. So I'm going to do this tiny little drop. Since there's not much in here anyways, that's going to give it good color, but not make it too opaque. And then I'm going to add this really sparkly white that I love and need to get more of. So you can see it's still very transparent, kind of milky. I'm going to take this pearl white I have from Rolio. Got it right on Amazon. I'm going to put a good amount in there because I want it really sparkly. I personally just like the look that it gives better when you add that extra sparkle to it. Whew. That's the stuff. Yeah, I like them. And you can usually find good deals on Amazon too. For like this past week, I randomly saw it on sale. Get 4 gallons, I think, for like $150 something, which was an awesome deal. I have not made Dominoes yet. I have Dominoes. I just have not gotten around to it. I want to. I want to try them out for sure. All right, I just cleaned these. That was entirely too much. I squeezed a little too hard on that one. So I'll just give it a little move around. Okay, so there's still some in there, plenty. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this. Ooh, that's a really pretty white. I am very happy about this. Okay, let's see. I don't want too much because I have to put some cow prints in here, and I want to, like I said, try with UV resin. So I don't want to get that too high so that nothing goes in there later and doesn't fit properly. I'm going to just put a little bit of this. Where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it in this little dish just because. I started this one yesterday. I didn't have quite enough, so I'm thinking there should be just enough in here, or maybe just too much. Just kind of give it, it's my leftover resin project. Oh, maybe not enough. Let's see. Oh, we're close. Yeah, we still have enough. We can scrape enough out of here. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Got a little drop over here somehow. I don't know how. Sometimes I get drops on my table and I have no idea where they come from. Wipe that off a little bit. Put it right over here. Now that guy can cure. Okay. I'll take this, put it back where we found him, which is all the way over here. I'm going to put my heart box in here, make some space. Okay, now we're going to work on cleaning off our stick really quickly. Get rid of this. I have my larger jug of alcohol. Yes, I use Let's Resin, thank you. I have all of my names ready to cut out on my Cricut. I just kind of started late, so I wasn't able to cut them all out tonight. That's all right, because we don't need them tonight. I will definitely have them ready for tomorrow, because I have those other 4 that I have to put on. Okay, let's see. Put alcohol here. Give this one last little touch up. And then we're going to throw our crayons in. Not throw, you know what I mean. The biggest resin project? I don't know, honestly. I mean, I did try, I don't do huge things. I did try my hand at putting a picture in one. I can grab it. So I feel like this is the biggest. I did a picture of my husband and I from our wedding, but I didn't laminate my picture, so you can see it's kind of like throwing off these little bubbles. You can see them on my arm. I was told it would break it down at some point, but it had a base for it, but I think I left it kind of like on an edge of a shelf, and it got really hot one day just because it was so hot in here, and it kind of just bent a little bit. So now it's kind of just it just stands like this, so we look like we're drowning or sinking or something. I don't even know. It's still cool though. I could always make another base. I just haven't yet. I just got a laminator, so I am going to work on a piece for my aunt. She bought something for my cousin who just had a baby. So I have a square, a heart, and a hexagon, and I'm just waiting for her to let me know which one she wants to do. Okay. All right. I guess it works out better if I do a whole above high spritz. Okay. See? I mean, probably should have showed you, but there was little bubbles everywhere. And now they're not. Okay, we are going to go in with, we're gonna start putting some stuff in. Where are my tweezers? I always lose these tweezers. I don't even know. I swear, like, somebody comes down here in the middle of the night and just takes my tweezers and randomly puts them back to make me feel crazy. Oh, never mind. I just put them in a weird spot. But that does happen to me often, so. Hello, yes, we are your friends. Yeah, and this is helpful for me as well, because sometimes I don't know something and I want to know it. And you guys help me, or you give me tips and tricks that I just haven't thought of, which I super appreciate. All right, when I put these in, I make sure neither are touching an edge. So I buy the like 4-inch golf pencils, and I still sharpen them down a little bit because they're still slightly too long. Put this one this way. And I put this one like this. I do this green guy over here. And then I got a pink one of these. Okay. So I did go in and pull out all of my colors earlier, so it just kind of makes it a little faster. So now you see, when I'm putting stuff in, none of it is pulling back to the center. They're all staying where I put them because I let that resin sit for a while. I used to put it in right away and I'd constantly have to fix it. And then I realized that I was just crazy and had to stop putting it in right away. All right, let's see what we got. And I switch up the way I put everything in because if they're going to the same school, I want it to just, look slightly different. All right, put that down. These parts of the eraser stick up higher, so I try to just keep in mind where that is so that my vinyl names doesn't impede where I put my names. All right, this one, it depends. I've let it sit for like 40 minutes before because I've just been working with other items, but that was probably only like 10 to 15 minutes at most, I would say. If that. This one has some leftover stuff on it. These are for teachers. I'm going to put a teacher's name on it, so it would look like this without this mess at the bottom. That was an issue. Separate issue than pouring. Can you cut what? Oh, the eraser? Probably. I haven't tried that. Are you the same person that said this yesterday? Somebody literally said that to me yesterday. I just, I didn't have time to try that out today. But I need to try it out. Okay. Yeah, I didn't try it. Do you use, if you're not the same person as yesterday, do you use scissors? Because I want to try it. Yes, I do these in 4 layers. So I do the colored epoxy and it cures. Then I come in, I do that very thin layer that you saw or you didn't see if you weren't here yet. And that thin layer is what I let sit for a little bit before I add items. Then I let that cure, usually about 24 hours because I only come down here once a day. But you could wait just 12 hours even, maybe even slightly less depending on the temperature of your room and how fast it cures. You don't want it to be too tacky because it'll just heat up your bottom layer. I've definitely done that and it just did not work out. Kind of just went right into it, and that would definitely, possibly melt your crayons. Okay. How did I do this? I think I went this way. Oh, I put white in these ones too, huh? Okay. All right, let's see. It is telling me that some comments are being filtered. It does not tell me why. It does not tell me who. But if you're commenting and nobody's responding, it could be because we cannot see it. I cannot control that. Okay. Make sure again it's not touching my edge. Oops. Put that one down there. I'll put this one this way. I do have UV resin. I don't use it too terribly often unless I'm fixing something. Because I just, I'm not a huge fan personally of making small pieces. So I don't usually do it. This one actually has a crack in it. I'm not going to use that one. Because that just screams bubble creator me. Alright, here we go. This one's better. I just got in my other order of pencils too, thankfully, because this is the last of my pencils. I just did these the same way, but that's alright. Switch this part up. And a red crayon. I had one where I had the very tip of the pencil barely touching the outside, and you could ever so slightly feel it on the edge. It wasn't bad at all. It just more annoyed me. Alright, so I go in and I do a layer of, so this is just a tiny thin layer of color. Then I do a very thin layer of clear. I give it anywhere from 10 to 40 minutes depending on what I'm doing. Then I put in my items that I want for my teacher coaster. I let that cure. Again, I let everything cure about 24 hours, mainly because I only get down here once a day. After that other next layer clears, the next layer I put on, and I put it like this. So it covers all of these pieces. It doesn't always cover the eraser. That's all right. The next layer will. But on this layer, I put a vinyl name. Then I top it with more clear. At the end, it looks something like this. These I'm currently selling for $20. I feel like next year, like next school year, I'll have to increase it to $25 because everything went up in price. So yeah, these are adorable. I absolutely love these. but it really stinks. Everything keeps going up in price, so it's like I literally do this to the point where I'm not really necessarily making a profit. Maybe a very, very tiny one, maybe. I more do it because I enjoy doing it, and if I don't sell them, I'm not going to be able to continue doing it because I can't keep funding it. So, get some dried up resin on here. I did one for a vet tech. I actually posted a video of those. That was a few weeks ago. And the only difference was, excuse me, is I didn't put a crayon, and I did print out like 3 different vinyl looks that I found on Cricut, and I put those in the background, and then I put that on the layer of color. Then I put a layer of clear and put my little items into, you can't see what I'm pointing at, but I put it on a layer of clear, then I put resin, then I put my items. Yes, I did the same thing. I probably made at least 25 of these before I started selling them. And I did it for all of my kids' daycare teachers. And they go to a center, and I know that sounds like an awful lot of teachers, but my son is 4, so he's been going there since he was 6 months old. So we've interacted with everybody there. And there's some new girls that we absolutely love, so we didn't want to leave them out either. And my daughter goes there, and she's a little younger, so she has new teachers that he didn't have, so I got these from Amazon. I'm actually working on an Amazon storefront, and currently that's not approved, but I'm also on top of that working on adding all of my Amazon links to my Linktree. If you check I don't know if it's live yet. It said it could take up to a week because I'm new. But I have, Linktree has a shop option for creators now. And it's literally just, I post my links in the shop, and you can click on the links directly to Amazon to see what I buy. So, this cup says epoxy sticks, and they're 10-ounce cups. These are not reusable unless you clean them out right away. I honestly don't have time to do that because I have such limited time down here. Alexa, set a 7-minute timer. I won't need the whole thing because I already started stirring it, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. So I'll have to see if I added these to my shop yet, because I've only added maybe 10 or 12 things at the moment because I just started it today. I didn't know about it until somebody told me. So, yeah. It's so therapeutic. Why did you stop? Can I ask? What did you do? I know it's expensive. I know some people do develop allergies over time. I just love it. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, I don't develop allergies at any time. It is super relaxing, I agree. It's just awesome. It's a de-stressor for me, and I just enjoy it thoroughly. Finish setting up all your stuff. Come on, I don't make tumblers. I love watching them be made. So I was laid off from my job at the very end of January, and I did start a temp job, like the last day of March, but at the moment it's only till the end of May. So I don't think they're going to hire me on full-time. They very straightforwardly told me we're not looking to hire anybody on full-time, which is fine. I'm hit or miss. Hope they do, but I hope they don't. It's really strange. I want to be able to spend the summer with my kids. I feel like it would be great ages to just be able to hang out with them all summer, catch up on my life, because it's really hard to just keep up with everything in the house and doing anything. So we'll see. So right now I am going to mix this, and I'm going to finish pouring on top of, I got some stuff on one of my trays. I'm going to put a layer on one of my trays, and then I'm going to possibly see how much I have left to do 2 of my rose coasters. I want to say those take like 5 ounces each, so I don't think I'll be able to fill them. At least one I will, but we'll see. Oh, that's really cool. Hi, Emily. Making resin molds? That's so awesome. I wanted to try that, but I have a problem. I need to do like one thing at a time, or else I get all over the place. This is Let's Resin. It's not weird, not at all. It does not. And that's why I only come down here once my kids go to bed, which is about 8, if I can get them in bed on time. If they don't give us any hard times, and if they're okay with Dad bringing them to bed. Sometimes I come down here a little early and I just hear them yelling for me, and I'm like, he can do it. This is just a silicone stick. So silicone sticks create less bubbles. I was using wood sticks, and Poxy Princess pretty much told me to stop. So I stopped. Now I only use wood sticks to stir in color. And it does pretty well. Yeah, you can handle it, you know. I think just as a mom in general, it's always mom guilt. There's always some kind of mom guilt. And even when I come downstairs just 20 minutes before their bedtime, I know they're going to be fine. But if I hear them crying for me, I feel terrible. But guess what? When he comes downstairs or goes to do his thing 20 minutes before bedtime, and they randomly cry because they want to see him, I mean, not to sound like a jerk, but I'm sure my husband doesn't feel bad. He's probably like, whatever. Just one night. Yeah, it would create so much bubbles. It's crazy. Yeah, it's like they care. They just only care about certain things. It's just a guy thing, I think. I think most guys are like that. I wonder how close we are. I do still see some streaks. I'm just going to stir it up another minute or so. Guys are definitely a different breed. And you know what's even crazier? I can already see guy traits in my son. Like, I'll be talking to my entire family. My daughter's 2.5. My son is 4. My husband is friggin' 36. The only one that will listen to me and do what I say is my 2.5-year-old daughter. My son and my husband, just in one ear, out the other, don't realize I'm even talking to them. I have not used a mixer because I feel like it's going to create a lot of bubbles. And I'd also have to clean it, and I would have to clean it right away because I don't want to have to peel it off and hope it peels off okay. So I don't use a mixer. I'm perfectly okay with stirring it by hand. Elizabeth Creations, welcome. Right now I am just mixing up some epoxy. I am going to pour on my hummingbird tray that I started yesterday, and then I think I'm going to top off, there's nothing in them right now, but my rose coasters, and see how much I can get done of those, because I think they take about 5 ounces. So I have my camera facing directly at what I'm doing. So I'm kind of standing behind my phone, and I'm able to see what everybody says. So it's almost like taking a picture just in video form of what I'm doing. I do have the phone that I'm using to do the live is actually an old phone. It's probably like an iPhone 10. So we just got new phones, and one day I was like, oh, I could use the old one to do the lives. And then I use my actual phone to take videos for content. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Currently trapped in bedtime. That's always fun. She plant cleared how to... Oh, yes, exactly. Yep, it's a... clean up the rag, okay. With the shower on, I hope at least you have like it on cold so you're not wasting any oil or heat or anything. It is literally talking to a brick wall at all times with voice. I'm sure as my daughter gets older, it'll just get worse for her. My kids actually only come looking for me when I get in the shower. They don't come looking for me. You just got in. I figure, wait, are you in the shower watching? What are you doing? I don't warm up my resin. No, my room is about 80 degrees at all times. I have a room in the basement, and it has its own heat source. So I just keep it at 80 degrees. Resin likes heat, so I found I don't get any micro bubbles if I just keep my room heated. So that's what I do. All right, so this, I came down earlier. I took off my saran wrap. Yesterday, I put 2 hummingbird tattoos and 1 tattoo flower. I tried to make it look like my hummingbirds were going into the flowers kind of thing. I actually put blue iridescent mica powder on the back because I'm hoping it looks absolutely incredible. We will see. And yeah, I'm going to pour white pigment paste on the back. Okay, I thought maybe she said she got in and then decided to watch from there. Oh, you're crazy. I would be so scared. I'd be like, it's going to fall in. That would just be my luck, though. All right, let's get... this is probably at least 3-ish ounces. Let's go 3. I'm definitely only going to be able to fill one of my rose coasters, I think. So let's see what we're going to do. We've got 10. So let's go this way. We'll see if I'm right. I always just guess how much is going to fit in here. Sometimes I'm spot on. Sometimes I'm way off. But it depends on how much I put in there to start. So, okay, I'm going to get 1 stick. And we're going to do our Satori White, if I can, there it is, okay. So I have, this is the brand I use for pigment paste. There's a lot in here, and it's a really good price, and you really don't need all that much. I always give it a little mix. And I do like it more opaque, so I probably use a little bit more than I need to, but that's all right. So you see it looks like nothing. Don't add more, keep stirring, because quickly it becomes that. And again, pigment paste, you want to stir until you don't see any streaks and lines in there. Yeah, they're great. I actually have a discount code too. You get 10% off if you use my discount code. That was really exciting. I was able to sign up for one personally and for others to use, so I believe that is in my link tree in my bio if you want to check it out. All right, let's see. And since I dipped my stick into the paste, I'm just going to scrape it off and give it another stir. My husband is probably like, what is she doing? She said she was going to be up here soon, and it's already 9:30. It happens fast. He should understand. He does professional arts and crafts, as he calls it. Time just goes by so quickly when you're having fun. I'm not sure if he's necessarily having fun at work all the time, but I am. Okay, we're going to record. I'm not going to spritz this with alcohol because I have mica powder on there, but I can spritz it after I pour this. Now that I have this in here, I feel like 3 ounces might not be enough, but we'll see. Yeah, this is, I think I might need more. I'm going to need more. Okay, let's see, how much more? Oh, not too much, but enough. Let's do like another ounce or so. That's about it. That works. Take another one of these, and this time I'll take one of my little plastic sticks. I'll just do it this way, and I can clean off my plastic stick a little easier instead of using another wooden stick. I'm really excited about this. I love these trays. For anybody that's new to resin or hasn't used tattoos, I also put the tattoos directly onto my silicone mold. And whenever I do tattoos, I generally put it on something that has an edge so I can easily seal it in with a thin layer of resin once I demold it. And I do it that way instead of putting a layer down and then putting my tattoo on, because I always put a layer on top anyways, because there's imperfections in the mold. Well, you can see that I put more white in this than I did the last one. And I just poured a little too much in here because I got excited. Woo. So what I do is I just come through here and I just give it a little mix so you can see the 2 shades of white. That's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. It'll give the backing a little different of a look, and that's all right. I don't hate it. And then a little spritz. While I'm thinking of it, I'll give a little spritz over here. Perfect. I don't have one done. I made one, and it sold so incredibly fast. So unfortunately, I don't have one to show you. But I've been trying to just go live when I come down here at night because I'm down here anyways. So even if I'm only down here for a half hour, I'll still try to go live just to share what I'm doing with everybody. That's already kind of going over the edges because I went a little too high, but that's all right. It happens. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way ever so slightly. Alright, just cleaning up that. I have a lot of stuff going on. I have to clean and organize, and I think I need a rolling shelf so that I can put stuff onto the shelf and put it out of the way so I have a nice working space. Thank you for the heart, me. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. I think this one, I put some glow-in-the-dark blue in here last night. I think I'm just gonna put my white in here because this is a leftover resin heart box, so I'm just gonna go with it. It's not gonna be all that much, but it'll give it a different look. It'll be fun. Oops. Oh no, did I? Okay, I think I pressed record. I might have missed pressing stop. Let's see. have to make sure I break up some more paper towels tomorrow. Thank you so much for the gifts. All right, let's see. Get this off here. I already cleaned off my stick. Okay, I'll put this right over here. All right, these are my rose coasters. What color did she want? She said, let's see, got sunglasses over here. I forgot to take them off earlier. All right, what did she say? She said red with gold petals. So this one has to be, oops. So this is going to be red, and this is going to be black. So like I said, I'm pretty sure this takes about 5 ounces. So I'm just going to mix up the last of my 6 ounces. And I think I'm going to go black just because that is an easy-ish color to mix up. Black with red. Okay, so I'm going to go... These are just mica powder, yes. And I just use like a little brush and put it on there. Okay, where is my black? That's green. That's a different color. I don't know what that is. I also was looking at, oh, there we go, different like organizational shelves at Michael's today. And it's just too expensive at Michael's, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, keep an eye out. The black, it doesn't really need to be too mixed up. Okay. Put it right onto here. Put that to the side. Give that a mix. Thank you for the roses. Thank you so much. All right, let's get this in here. Thank you for the roses. All right, so make sure this is nice and mixed. The black can be tricky because you can't quite see. Thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate it, guys. You can't quite see if there's streaks, so I just give it, once I think I've got it mixed in, I just give it another extra few swirls to mix it. All right, what did I say? I always question myself. Black with red. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. I did these last night, and it was getting late, and I ran out of time. All right, again, not spritzing with alcohol because we don't want to ruin the mica powder on there. All right, so again, 6 ounces. I need to remember what's in here for tomorrow. This is a lot of little lines, so I just pour it nice and slowly to make sure there's no bubbles created. Into the middle, and once it gets to the outer edge, I pour it a little faster. Okay. Again, let's pay attention how much this is, so tomorrow we don't overdo it. That's actually almost perfect. There we go. All right. So it did not take 5 ounces. What did it take? It was about, where is it? What are we? Oh God, I can't even tell. Let's see, let me scrape it off the edge a little bit. About 3 actually. That's surprising. All right. You're not gonna like this answer. I got these off Temu before it did a whole bunch of crazy stuff on us. I'll double check Amazon. I feel like I saw them on Amazon, but they were sold out. And every time I looked, they were sold out. So I literally just look up like flat rose coaster silicone mold. Because I don't know what else to call it, to be completely honest. All right, I'm gonna put this over here because I don't have enough to pour in that. I appreciate that so much, more than you know. These are really pretty. I have some that are done, but I can't show you because I haven't unpacked from my craft fair yet, so That's on me, my bad. All right, I'm gonna just do something different with these about 2 ounces. This is an iridescent, not an iridescent, it's a holographic glitter. Super duper pretty. It's black, so it's really hard to see, but it is there. Then I'm gonna add a chunky glitter. I'm gonna do this one. No, I'm not gonna do chunky yet. Let me see. I think I'm gonna start with this one. It's like a blue sapphire. I'm gonna do some of this. Then I'm gonna do a chunky. I like to just mix stuff sometimes. I know, me too. We were talking about that yesterday, and it stinks. It stinks a lot. Which chunky do I want to do? Here we go. This is what I was picturing. And like glitters like this, I would get off Temu, and now I just can't. I know yesterday they told me if you go to local warehouses, you can still get them. But I think that's the only way you can get it now, as of yesterday, is what I'm told, or something like that. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm just adding a whole bunch of random colors. This is going to look... It's going to be different. I don't even know what I'm going to put it in. I just know it's getting warm, so... Chunky glitter usually sinks, so you might be able to see those better. You can't quite see them now, but you can see the sparkle of them all. It's really pretty, actually. So, let's see. Where is my ounce line so I can kind of see how much glitter I added? Oh, I added about a ½ ounce in glitter. So, while I'm thinking, I'm trying to, yeah, glitter in general is just, I love it. So, yeah, I don't know how the local warehouse is going to work, but I'll probably check it out again, since you can't just buy it like normal anymore. I don't know. That's where I got a lot of my small stuff to put in resin, like my starfish and my shells, my little shells. Well, I did just go to Michael's today, and I got like a wicked deal on crushed glass and different like rocks, and I got blue sand. I am so excited about the blue sand. I want to try to make some beach coasters with blue sand, but I have to wait until I finish my teacher coaster orders. That way I'm not rushing to get those done. You can see all the colors already popping up. It looks really pretty. I'm really excited about this. Okay, what am I going to pour this in? Oh, let's do this. Do I want to do that? I want to do this. Okay, hold. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it in this frog. I forgot to order my eyes, but that's okay. We're just gonna do the frog. All right, give him a little spritz. And it's not gonna fill it, but that's okay. It's gonna look really cool. At my craft fair, if anybody does craft fairs, little note, make little animals and put them front and center for all the kids to see. I almost sold out of all my animals. Those are big sellers with the kids. Oh, you can see all the colors I added. I love it. That's so pretty. That's gonna look so awesome. Like, just look at that. This resin is warmer, so I'm wondering if the chunky glitter won't immediately fall, if some of it will kind of stay put, which really wouldn't, I don't know, we'll see. Usually the iridescent glitter kind of floats up too, so the very top of this you'll see more iridescent colors once it's cured. It's still all over, they just kind of do what it's doing now. Okay. Awesome. Because it's so glittery, it's hard to get all of the resin out of the cup, so I think that's about all I'm going to get out of it. That's going to look really cool. I am super excited about that. Alright, give all my stuff a little spritz. Hopefully that wasn't too much. I was selling my frogs for 15, and they were going. And I have resin snakes I was also doing for 15. I have axolotls that I do for 20. I had something else. What else did I have? For the life of me, I can't think of the other item I had. Looking around to see if I find what it was. I'll probably think of it as soon as I lay down to go to bed, because that's how my brain works. And it's actually funny because, you know, it's cute, funny, whatever. All of the kids that came by, they all had like their own money, or asked their parent if they could spend their money for the fair on that item. And one mom was like, well, why don't we keep looking in case there's something else, and we'll come back if this is what you want. And they ended up coming back. So that was cool. I think he got one of the frogs. There was also a girl who, I forgot to put the stakes down in my Easy Up, and it wasn't windy at all, which is probably why I forgot. I didn't even think of it. But all of a sudden the wind picked up while her and her friend were in my tent talking to me, looking at stuff. And instinctively, I immediately grabbed onto the end I was at, and she did the same. And she most definitely helped me save that entire tent from blowing away. And I was so, like, taken aback and trying to make sure that it didn't blow away again and get the stakes in fast. She ended up buying a frog for me, and I wanted to give it to her for free, but I was like, before I knew it, all of a sudden there was money in my hand and she was gone. I kind of felt bad. But if anybody knows who she is, I have no idea who she is. In case she's told anybody and it gets out there, tell her I owe her something for free. Because she saved me and all of my stuff. Alright. I always put a little alcohol in my hands because I get mica powders. There's no resin. I always feel like there's something sticky, even though there's not, or something glittery, and it usually is. The Bumblebee stickers, those are from Amazon. If you send me the frog will have legs. Yeah, I'll do a second layer tomorrow, probably of a different color, just to switch it up a little bit. But if you send me a message, I can send you my Bumblebee stickers that I found. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to head to bed a little early tonight. Oh my God, Debbie, yes, thank you. This is why I have you guys here. Let me tell you. Let me add okay, I'm going to have to go over here to add my sprinkles because I have so much stuff. All right, let's see. Debbie, look at you, saving the day. Thank you so much. You must be in here often, huh, Debbie? Are you the same person that reminded me last time? Oh, all right. Let's get some of these sprinkled in here. Oops, I'm gonna have to move those a little bit. It's almost like the perfect time to add them too, because the resin is so thick. They're not completely falling through, which I like. It makes it give it more of a 3D look. Oops. I'll do these right here. I'm not going to do too many on this one. I feel like I got some of those too close to each other. Okay. I was just saying the other day how sometimes when I do this, I feel like it's all white, and that one had a whole bunch of white. Just out of nowhere. These are just sprinkles that you would put on a cake. Nonpareil sprinkles. You know, I forgot to put sprinkles in the ones I did yesterday. Well, I guess I'll try to put some in. I can't put them in the next one. Oh, well. We'll see what happens. I've got 3 from yesterday that I didn't put sprinkles in. You know what? I could probably do a little bit of UV resin to fix that. Unless I just poured this. Did I just pour this, or is this... Oh, maybe I did just... Okay, I'm an idiot. Ignore me. You can't see what I'm doing. Let me grab my phone. I didn't do these yesterday. I don't know what I'm talking about. Apparently, see, I need to go to bed. I don't know what's happening in life. It's the lack of sleep from the last few days. But I did forget to put these in yesterday. I thought these were cured now and I wouldn't be able to put them in again. This is working out. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate it. All right, put them over here. Okay, we're going to add a couple more on this one. And I don't like those are a bunch together, so I'm just going to randomly put a couple more. This one only has 2. I'm going to fix that. Oh. See what I'm saying? So many white ones. They must put an abundance of white in here just to like make it pop or something. I don't know. Oh. See, I'm all over the place. I keep forgetting to put it in different spots. Okay, there's 2 over here. And I'll do a few over here. Okay. All right, and on that note, it is definitely time for bed after my entire thought process that just happened of not knowing what the heck I was doing. Yeah, absolutely. I got a couple flyers for ones that are coming up later in the year that I want to sign up for because they're all indoor. And then I was told by other vendors of ones that are coming up this summer, so I'm going to check those out. I know Shepherd Hill is in November. I think Tantasqua is in November. I was told about those, so I'm going to check them all out, and I'll definitely post it and let you know. So for now, everybody have a great night. Debbie, thank you very much for reminding me of my sprinkles so I didn't ruin those. And I will see you all tomorrow to do the next layer on our teacher coasters. We'll do another rose to get that done. And we'll, at the very least, probably top off our frog. Have a wonderful night, everybody.